Even Sesko this weekend, a player, of course, they looked at signing before Victor Gyökeres. Well, as for Sesko, he chose Manchester United over Newcastle, as we know, and in his first interview with the club, he told us why.
First of all, of course, because of the club. It's just the historical club that is unbelievable. For me, the team is great. It's getting better and better, and that's why also there is just stuff that it made you like come there. You know, it gives you this already kind of, let's say, energy that you want to be part of. And yeah, I think it's just a great project in general, and yeah, can't wait to start, definitely.
Did Ruben Amorim play a part in that decision, obviously wanting to come here and play for him?
Of course. I think this is a really important part in general in football. Great guy, great coach, and so we're going to start. That's important.
Right, Dharmesh. So, Sesko in. Does that mean Højlund out?
It doesn't look good for Højlund with regard to his Manchester United future, but there are clubs that are interested in him, not least AC Milan. They remain in talks with Manchester United over the signing of the Danish international. Milan, for their part, they want to do a loan deal with an option to buy. I think Manchester United would prefer a permanent deal for Rasmus Højlund, or at least have some sort of permanent element attached to any kind of loan deal. And I think they would probably consider offers of around £40 million. Now, that could come in two forms. If they were to sell him now and get £40 million, I think they'd consider it. If it was a loan with an option, then maybe they can be quite creative with it, a loan fee, and then the rest of that £40 million made up in an option price later on down the line. I think it's being made clear to Højlund now. I don't think he's under any illusions that maybe Manchester United do want him out. He was an unused substitute in United's pre-season friendly against Fiorentina at the weekend. Ruben Amorim actually chose to play Mason Mount in a false nine ahead of Rasmus Højlund.
That's a massive sign, isn't it?
It is, and I'm sure he's aware of everything that's going on. He's clearly seen Sesko come into the club and him not getting much match time, even though he was the only striker that was available to them that day. But anyway, he has said he wants to stay and fight for his place. But it's now becoming abundantly clear that he's joined the likes of Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, Malacia, Antony, and previously Rashford as players that United would want to get out of the club.
So the famous five became six, well, it became four, didn't it? Because
it's back to five again.
Back to five, yeah. Goodness. All right, what about any more people joining United? Anything else?
Well, we should say that following Sesko's arrival, I think that the focus, even before Sesko arrived, was on sales. Not necessarily making those sales before players come in, but having an assurance and a knowledge that before the end of the window, some of these sales would happen. We've mentioned Rasmus Højlund and AC Milan. Borussia Dortmund still pushing to sign Jadon Sancho. You've got Chelsea and Alejandro Garnacho. Manchester United are definitely expecting a formal offer from Chelsea for Garnacho. Real Betis, yes, they are still trying to sign Antony, however difficult that deal looks. So that would be the priority. However, rather like I said about Arsenal before, if a unique market opportunity was to come along in the remaining 3 weeks of this window, Manchester United want to be in a position where they would be able to do this unique market opportunity. Now, throughout this window, we've talked about areas that they wanted to strengthen, which they have done, particularly in the front line. It's an entire new front three. But central midfielder, talk of that has not gone away. And I don't know whether it's been accentuated, even though United have played OK during pre-season. Some of the criticisms aimed towards them have been the makeup of that central midfield. They are interested in Carlos Baleba from Brighton and Hove Albion. They like the player a lot. They've explored the conditions of a deal. It is going to be a very, very difficult deal to do for many reasons, not least Brighton have got no intention to sell. They don't want to sell. They're under no pressure to sell. He's still got 3 years left on his contract. They've got an option for a further year, and they would want to charge. I mean, some people have even talked about touching 100 million here. So
that's exactly what United need, though, isn't he?
You could argue that that is what they would need. But as far as Brighton are concerned, not for sale. As well. Now, the man behind us here, Nicholas Jackson. Lots of talk about Nicholas Jackson in this transfer window. He has now told Chelsea that he wants to explore his options outside of Chelsea. So he wants to look at other clubs and whether there is interest in him, of which there is a lot. Chelsea are playing Bayer Leverkusen as we speak in a pre-season friendly. It kicked off at 7 o'clock. The team news was interesting, and it is clear that Nicholas Jackson is not part of the plans either from the Chelsea end, because Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, both not in the matchday squad. They are two of a number of players that Chelsea are looking to consider offers for, and they have had a lot of inquiries, unsurprisingly, for Nicholas Jackson. Bayern Munich, Juventus, AC Milan have all explored the conditions of a